hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. Yeah, you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow. I've been caught in the undertow. Toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head. Get you.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. Run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, I'm sick of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Now that I need you anyway. Just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks, I'm beaten down. I crack the lens just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't even say that I drown with a color playing the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
The number you have dialed. Please note.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new pay-per-view review. If you don't know who we are our local establishment. My name is Mark Talks. This is OL. I need to remember to obviously point the opposite direction. But this is OED, and on tonight's show, if you have seen the Elimination Chamber, you know what's coming. But here's a little video for you to give you a little preview on exactly what's going on.
For all the things that we left unsaid, for all the times I've done promises that I had nightmares along the way. I made prayers in vain. I've waited so long to catch my breath. I'm awake, I'm alive. You made me who I am now. Never mind, I survived.
So where do we start? Do we start at the end or do we start at the beginning? Because both of these things are things we need to talk about.
I have zero amount of clue. All I know is we have to talk about, and I think we're going to have to do the ending twice. I think we're going to have to do the ending twice because we've got a couple of things here. Bassa said, "Swerve of the century." Even my kid was like, "Wait, what is going on?" We've
Yeah.
also got another comment. My friend's 5-year-old is crying because Cena is bad. I laughed. I'm horrible.
You're great, Peggy.
Also,
Also, hello.
I love it. Also, hello, Andre. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
And we're not
We
going to tell
will
you every detail, but we'll talk about some of the important stuff.
absolutely. And we've also got a little comment there. Right, let's get into it. We have seen. This is what, right? I'm going to go off on a tangent just for a second. I won't go for long, but this is why you don't fuck with the final boss. It's as simple as that. This is why, and I saw the comments on Twitter. I'm calling it Twitter because I refuse to call it the other thing. I'm calling it Twitter. I'm on Twitter. People going, "This is the most bizarre thing." The Rock keeps going on about this. Why does he keep going on? And I keep telling people, wait, because the Rock doesn't do stuff unless it is going to have a massive payoff. Look at what he did last year with the whole bloodline coming back to be with Roman Reigns and then doing it. He come back. Everyone was like, oh, he's giving him a hug. Oh, look, he's gone on to NXT. He's being nice about Cody. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, there's a plan here. There is a massive plan here. And then these bizarre segments people are talking about that has been happening on Raw or SmackDown, where The Rock has basically become like the ultra villain, the man that you look at in a movie and you go, oh, someone just smack him in the mouth. And then I went, Cody's not going to do it. So I had 3 theories into this. I had either Roman Reigns turns up and takes Cody Rhodes and John Cena out because he's back with The Rock. I then had another theory that if Cena loses, The Rock will find someone that we don't know who may debut or whoever it could be potentially to come in and do it. Nowhere on my bingo card was there what happened at the end. I had nowhere was my thinking of what happened. Ed, I'm going to let you handle this.
Let's start from the end of the men's elimination chamber match, and then we'll go back to what happened in the match. Cena wins the men's elimination chamber. He's celebrating. He's going after number 17 at WrestleMania. Story makes sense. This is a story that makes perfect sense. Cena chasing 17 has to go through company man Cody Rhodes, the fan favorite, the guy who toppled Roman Reigns. Makes sense. Cody's music hits. Cody does his full entrance. Cena, being the nice guy, holds the ropes open. Cody gets in the ring. Cody and John are there, and they're celebrating, and they're like, yep, me versus you. All right, we got this. Let's put on a good show for the people, everybody. And then The Rock's music hits, and The Rock comes to the ring. And yeah, fake goosebumps, whatever it is that he does. Anyway.
Don't disrespect the final boss. Thank you
And he comes out with Travis Scott, who honestly we're going to stop talking about for the rest of the segment because he has no impact on it for the most part.
He had one impact that made me laugh. We'll get into that later.
Travis Scott needed to not be there. Yeah, you don't need Travis Scott for any of this.
You do.
I don't care. You don't need Travis Scott for any of this.
You do.
Rock comes out. Rock says, "Come on, Cody, let's do this." And Cody seems like he's going to accept, and then tells Rock to go fuck himself, which I thought for, because that was great. Cena's all excited. He's happy that he did it. Rock looks like he just ate some big ass lemon, and he just had a big lemon in his mouth. He's like, And I was all happy because Rock was sad, and I was like, all right, cool. And I'm like, is it going to be like dueling triple threats? Are we going to get Cena, Seth, and Roman? Are we going to get Cody, Cena, Rock? I'm like, all right, whatever. That kind of makes sense. We'll let that slide. And then all of a sudden, John Cena hugs Cody Rhodes out of nowhere, and Rock just looks at him and goes, wink. And then Cena just absolutely, he low blows Cody. He beats the shit out of Cody. He takes the fucking Rolex that Cody gave to The Rock, that The Rock gave back to Cody. He bloodies him with that. Michael Cole thought it was brass knuckles. I mean, this was a great beatdown. He hits him with that. He hits him with
The title.
the title. He hit him with something else too. I forget what it was.
Microphone.
Microphone. There we go.
Yeah.
And then The Rock gets out the belt, the weight belt, and Travis Scott attempts in the worst possible way to try to help hold Cody down while Cena's trying to hold him down from both ends, but knows he can't do that or else he's going to get whipped instead of Cody. Cody takes a few lashings. He's bleeding from the face. It looks great. They show it off to Michael Cole, who's going ballistic at ringside. Michael Cole had a night to remember here. Thank God for Michael Cole. Wade Barrett, who listens to Michael Cole? Everybody listens to Michael Cole now. We didn't 10 years ago. We sure as hell do now. Cena turning heel has been something everybody's wanted for years. Years and years and years. We've all wanted the Cena heel turn. But there's somebody on the internet whose name I won't bring up, when they did a fantasy booking video, had said, the only way you can turn Cena heel is you have to do it with somebody the fans like more than they like John Cena.
Yeah.
If you're going to do the Cena heel turn, you have to turn him heel so the fans boo him. Tonight, they found the circumstances to make Cena get booed. They use Cody Rhodes, who the fans love to cheer, even if they don't always cheer for Cody all of the time. The fans love Cody in general. They love to do the whoa. They love to do all the Cody shit. So, that was the perfect opportunity. Cena told us at Royal Rumble that this was going to happen. At the Royal Rumble, John Cena said what's best for business, which is never a babyface line, is that he's going to become the 17-time world champion. This morning, at 10:38 this morning, John Cena posted this, which says, tonight I walk into my final WWE Chamber match to secure my final WrestleMania main event. Toronto is the place where I announced I would retire. Tonight is going to be an event you can't miss. Note the people on the poster that Cena chose to use. It's Cena, it's Rock, it's Travis Scott. He told us this morning that this was going to happen. I fucking loved this. Every single bit of this, I fucking loved. We have Ophelia saying both Cena and The Rock use best for business at the Rumble press conference. Yep. Again, it's not a phrase that you use as a babyface. Elimination Chamber was absolutely fantastic. I don't want to say it was the best, but it was certainly a really good show. For 4 matches, it was really good. I love this segment. I understand why it had to be the main event now. And Peggy and I were talking about this during the show. I don't like segments main eventing pay-per-views. I like matches main eventing pay-per-views. I don't mind segments main eventing television, but I prefer my pay-per-view to end with a match. However, in this circumstance, WWE is right. This needed to be the main event if this is what they were doing. Yeah, exactly. Ophelia is right. In this case, they did it right. They had a story that needed to be told in a specific way, and they told the story. This is going to be good. The road to Mania has just gotten very interesting with a heel Cena. I will now defer some time to Mark as I've talked for a lot now.
No, and we discussed this before we went on air. We discussed a little bit as well that that there was only one case. We discussed a little bit about how John Cena would ever turn heel, and we said that Vince would have done it, but it would have been just willy-nilly and would have meant nothing. And I said this before: if you're gonna do the heel turn, The Rock is the perfect person to have alongside John Cena. And people are going to go, well, but think about this logically, right? Think about the words The Rock used to Cody Rhodes on that Friday night SmackDown, right? He said he wants to have the soul for a championship. He wants to make them the biggest megastar in the world. Movies, TV shows, everything. What's John Cena trying to do now? Movies, TV
Everything.
shows,
Everything.
everything. So Cody Rhodes isn't going to go down that path. He's very much, he won't turn heel. That was his biggest problem in AEW. And that's the problem that he will have slightly in the future, but not as much. But this is the slight problem that he's got. When you have The Rock turn it, and I said this earlier on in the show, when you have The Rock turning up at the first night of Netflix and he's praising Cody Rhodes, I went, okay, he's doing something for Mania. I said this long time ago. And now he's doing something for Mania. My interesting fact is now, right? I don't think Cody Rhodes wins at Mania. Because this heel Cena cannot happen just for what, a month? Is it just over a month now?
2 months, almost 2 months.
Is it
20th and 21st of April.
Oh, so near the end of April. Okay, so we've got a bit of time. You can't have a heel Cena for a month, 2 months. So this is going to have to be a long play. The Rock knows that he doesn't have to turn up every time. You know that he can just turn up whenever he wants. Cena is very much now going to do what Cena has always hated in the past, where he will become the part-time champion. Which then leads to, and I've said this, and I was worried that this might happen. I wanted Jacob Fatu to win the world title this year, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Potentially maybe moving to Raw and winning the World Heavyweight Championship could be it. But the WWE now looks further away from Fatu than it ever does before, which I'm fine with because you're going to need a story with him. It looks like it's going to be, I think at the moment, Jacob versus Solo at Mania. That's how I feel like this is going, potentially. But going back to this, it's perfect. This is and I love, and do you know what I love is the annoyance of the internet when The Rock was doing this and moaning about why is he doing this to now seeing it happen. They need to understand that this is the brainchild of Triple H. And what we've got to understand with Triple H is there's subtle hints through anything. There's a long-term story through anything. This has been building since last year's Mania. If we remember correctly, last year's Mania, John Cena come out and he got beaten up by The Rock, if I was right. He come out he took out Solo, then The Rock come out and went toe-to-toe with him. And if you remember, I can't find the picture, but if you remember, John Cena was holding, now I'm stretching it here, John Cena was holding Cody Rhodes after he won the world title, but looking at the title. And if now it's flashing back to me and I'm like, oh, there's subtle hints throughout the whole time. No, he doesn't need to hold it for too long. You're absolutely right. He get Ric Flair away from stuff. Absolutely spot on. And get Ric Flair away from it. And let's build. You can have him until SummerSlam, right? You got 4 months. I think that's probably potentially May, June, July, August. 4 months. SummerSlam potentially. I know that WWE are trying to talk John Cena into doing until WrestleMania next year. I know that there's talks about them trying to, but I don't think that's going to happen. Or you could have last ever Cena match. He loses a title, that type of thing. He hasn't got to go on a long run, that type of thing. But right, we've discussed this. We'll get back
from Mania to SummerSlam. Honestly, would be the perfect story.
Yeah,
get him to SummerSlam. Let somebody young win the title at SummerSlam. Have him put somebody over there, and then have your dream matches for the rest of the year. You've got 3 or 4 PLEs left at that point. That's when you get Randy Orton, CM Punk. And then again, in my dream world, you end on Carmelo Hayes. You do a PLE in Boston, call it, ruthless aggression, call it the prototype, call it something Cena-esque, hustle, loyalty, respect. And your main event is Cena versus Mello.
Mm.
And he passes that torch to the other Boston guy. Because remember, and it's not that out of the woods, because when Carmelo debuted in NXT, he did the John Cena Kurt Angle speech to Adam Cole before he slapped him in the face before his first match. So there's still already some symmetry there. Also, I just want to say from the post-show press conference, Triple H did say that the John Cena heel turn feels like, to him, one of the most powerful moments in WWE history in the career of John Cena. All right. Moving away from John Cena for a little bit. Let's rewind all the way back to the beginning of the show.
Feels like ages ago now, but this was an excellent premium live event. If you haven't already, down below, if you're watching this on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button, and you will get instant notification for when any of these shows go live on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, on our local establishment, on my page, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to get any notification from anything that we're doing. If you haven't seen what's coming up this week, there is a video that happened at the start of the show, so make sure you go back and check that out. But also join us tomorrow for POV, where there'll be a new video explaining what's coming next week as well. So there's a lot more content coming your way. But we're going to kick things off now with the Women's Elimination Chamber, where the first two were Naomi and Liv Morgan. And Ed, we had a little bit of a surprise return.
We did. Jade Cargill, as the match is about to begin, her music hits. She comes out. Liv looks terrified. Naomi shoots this look back at Bianca with this death look in her eyes, as you can now, looking back, when you can hyper focus on some of this. Jade comes in. She's ready to beat down Liv. And then she veers off course and absolutely destroys Naomi. And again, we can talk about the great beatdown of Naomi by Jade Cargill. This was great. She did a very good job. She looked powerful as hell. She really took it to Naomi here. But I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the best part of this segment, which is the reactions of Bianca Belair throughout the entirety of this beatdown. She is distraught like her man just left her. She is in hysterics. She's threatening to leave and quit the Elimination Chamber match before it even starts.
Yeah, I saw here a comment quickly. Bianca aiming for an Oscar. If you remember, there was a match between Bianca and I think it was Io Sky at SummerSlam where she hurt her knee and screamed. And I thought it was a legitimate injury. And for her to really just bounce back and get into it and carry on, I was like, oh, okay. That is great acting there. Anyway, carry on.
I thought this was fantastic. I thought the beatdown was well done. I've been saying since the moment this beatdown happened, where everybody started saying that Naomi did it, and Naomi's like, no, I didn't do this. Why would I ever do that? Why would I do this to my friend? And I'm like, Naomi doth protest too much. She did protest too much. And as soon, remember, when Nick Aldis gave them the footage of Liv and Raquel, it was Naomi that jumped right on it. Oh, look, they did it. It's them. For no reason. They were walking around the area where she got beat down, nowhere near the beatdown, after it happened. And they're like, well, this is the footage. And Naomi's like, well, that proves it. I didn't do it. She goes on Twitter. Look, you can all start apologizing to me now. And I'm like, I don't buy it just yet. I still think you did it. Oh,
it was
so
brilliant. But we're going to talk about the Rumble match. We had the first two was Naomi and Liv, and then Bianca was the next one to come out. We then had Roxanne and Bayley, with then Alexa Bliss coming out. But I want to talk about one part of this match. It was the Bianca hair whip to Liv Morgan, which was
God, the gunshot.
Oh my lordy days! It sounded like it was exactly what you said, a gunshot. I heard it and I went, no, that can't have been. And then they did the replay with the sounds, and I went, holy crap, her back must be in so much pain right now.
And the worst part was it didn't hit her back; it hit her stomach.
Yeah.
That I was just saying, Ophelia's right on it here. That mark on Liv, oh good God. It went from her belly button all the way around her hip. Oh good God, that looked like it hurt like hell.
Jesus.
Oh.
But I want to talk about some of the eliminations in this because I have some predictions that are coming up moving forward. You have Bayley that was first gone by Liv Morgan. I don't know where Bayley goes from that one, but there is. We'll go in that in a second. But there is one that I do feel like I know where something's going with Liv Morgan pinning Alexa Bliss and Alexa Bliss's face. I'm calling it. It's either going to be at Mania or somewhere near Mania. I haven't really thought about the Mania card. I'm going for Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Absolutely, 1,000%.
Yeah,
that's exactly where that's going. Also, I think Bayley's going to stand and deliver to take on Roxanne Perez in Roxanne's last NXT match.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where that goes.
I would have thought wouldn't that be?
It's not going to make the Mania card. There's not.
No.
On a Triple H Mania. There's no room for that. Not that I want to say it like this, but in Triple H's WWE, there's not enough room for that many women's matches because we're already going to have Charlotte versus Tiffany. We're going to have Rhea versus the winner of this match. Sorry, Io, I apologize. I'm going to brush past you and just go to the match that we're all getting, which is Rhea versus Bianca. And then I think you get that tag match with Liv and Raquel versus Nikki and Alexa. I think that's a Mania match too.
I think you
you have room for Bayley versus Roxanne at Mania.
I think you'll also get one of the IC or the United States Women's Championship defended on there as well. I think it'll be one of them will be done at Friday Night SmackDown. The other will be done at Mania. That's how I'm thinking that will go.
I think they're going to bookend it. I think it's going to be the SmackDown before Mania, the Raw after Mania. Unfortunately,
yeah. Because we know I'm also going to predict this as well. I think we're going to get the IC. I'm just thinking about what I was just saying. I'm going to go the IC Women's Championship will be Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. I think that's potentially where it may happen. I'm fantasy booking at this point.
I mean, are we booking? Are we thinking we're going to do the entire Ivy Nile story before the end of Mania? Because I think the Ivy Nile match is the Mania-ish match.
Yeah, maybe. But then so we got that, and then at the end we saw Bianca pick up the win. And then at the end, I thought what was really clever by WWE.
Right here, though, that's what she's saying. Like if we're saying the two women's matches, the tag match, then yeah, one more would make two women's matches per night. Again, I'm all for another women's match. I'm just sitting here going, Triple H likes 5, 6, maybe 7 matches per card. I'm like, when you break that down with all the stories he's telling, I'm like, I don't know. And plus, with Roxanne being NXT, you have that room at Stand and Deliver to do that match as a big match at S&D.
So then, would you say, because I know that they're pushing the angle now on NXT with Jordan Grace, so maybe a triple threat? I don't know. You can't put Bayley in another triple threat because the story would be quite weird in that one.
No, I think it's Jordan Grace versus the winner of Roadblock, and that's your main event.
Yeah.
And then I think it's, on the first or the second match of the show, I think it's Bayley versus Roxanne in a, who's the face of NXT kind of singles match. Because we've still to this point not had that as a singles match. And I think at some point we have to have that as a singles match.
You also got the fact that we haven't really thought about as well at the same time. One woman's going to hold 2 titles, the North American Women's Championship and the NXT Women's Championship potentially. There's going to be shenanigans.
Right here, Trish and Nikki are still floating around this year too. They're still both potentially Mania components. So yeah,
I know that
can happen.
I know that there's a thing with Trish that she said that she won't fully retire until she gives her promise to Alexa Bliss that she gave her to have a match. there's a thing floating around, so that there might be something in there as well.
I think that might be a Canadian show or something else
Yeah.
down the line. Like
Yeah.
that could be a TV match at a show in Canada on a Raw or a SmackDown at some point. I don't think that's a Mania type thing.
Yeah, well, we'll do that. But then I thought the one thing WWE did very clever was Alicia Taylor when she announced the match, saying the winner of this will face either Rhea Ripley or Io Sky. And then I thought that was very clever detail. I thought that was a very clever detail, and I like that. And then after Bianca won, she had a stare down with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, so leading to. But we've all been calling for Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair ever since their call up from NXT, and we're finally potentially could be getting it. So I'm looking forward to that. But we
Well,
don't.
before we leave on this match, though, there's one thing I
Go
want
for
to
it.
talk about. I want to talk about how Triple H must really feel something strong about Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
He was incredibly heavily protected in this.
Mhm.
Because she got a pin in this match. She was the runner up in the Rumble and had the longest time ever for a female in the Rumble. And then on top of all that, she was going to hit a Pop Rocks, ended up in a Code Red that turned into a Twisted Bliss. Like, that's protection levels of that's Roman Reigns and Charlotte Flair levels of we're going to protect you to the ends of the earth so you don't look like you just got beat. I mean, that's pretty insane levels of protection for an NXT superstar who's still not officially on the main roster at this point. They see money in Roxanne Perez.
I'm going to call it
I
now.
must say, she did fantastic tonight.
Yeah, I'm also going to call it now. Roxanne Perez will be the one who dethrones Rhea Ripley. I think that's where they're going to go with that. I think because I really like Roxanne. But we're going to go into the next match, and this was the tag team women's match where it was Trish and Tiffany versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Also in the chat, if you're around and you're commenting around, make sure you put in there. Well, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Ed doesn't know I'm doing this. I normally do things spontaneous anyway. If you could rate the match, we're going to go with good old Dave Meltzer's 5 stars crap, but we're going to do it ourselves. If you could rate the Women's Elimination Chamber out of 5, what would you give it? And if you're in the chat as well, make sure you put in there what you rated the Women's Elimination Chamber out of 5 as well. Ed, I'll go to you first.
4.5. I thought this was pretty much damn near flawless. Like, the beatdown beforehand, the eliminating of Naomi. The only thing that would have been better is if they put Jade in the match after beating down Naomi. That's the only thing not getting it 5 stars at this point, because that and the finishing sequence. I didn't love the 6,000 reversals of everything and Bianca taking 3 Code Reds and then still reversing the Oblivion. It's nitpicking. Like I said, it's 4.5. I'm nitpicking why it didn't get a perfect rating. I'll go 4.5. I thought it was pretty damn near flawless.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. If you're watching this at home and you want to comment, make sure you put in the comments down below your rating of the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Now we're going to go into the Canadian special match, which was Trish and Tiffany versus Nia and Candice LeRae. I start this up. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good match. Trish took one hell of a beating in front of her kids for them being the first time seeing her wrestle. Someone is really not happy about John Cena.
Yeah, Mr. Castillo here, Eric Ortega Castillo.
Respect the final boss.
But see, this is the thing. A Cena heel turn has been talked about so lovingly by the fan base that they can do the Cena heel turn and still get this kind of reaction. It's good. It means it worked, man.
Do you know what the words are for this? It's best for business.
It is indeed best for business.
But Tiff and Trishy, I even said Trishy, Tiff, I don't know why I said it like that. I'm going to go, good match. Tiff looked good in this, really looked strong. Not much of a beating, getting ready for her to go against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. There was one bit that tickled me at the ending of the match, where Trish wasn't falling off the apron, and Trish was just kicking Trish to get off.
So great.
That made me. I was like, Trish, you need to move, and she just wasn't moving. And then Candice flipped over, and as she flipped over, Tiffy just kicked her thoroughly to get her off the apron.
I think what happened here is I think Tiffany thought she was doing the PME out of that corner.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't realize Nia had rolled to the other corner. So because Trish can't be lying there if Tiffany's going to get the right bounce to do the 1, 2, 3 for the PME. So she needs those corners completely empty so she can get the right velocity to do it. I agree. It tickled me pink when she kicked her in the ribs to get it off the apron so she could do it. And only just to run over to the other corner and do the PME out of the other corner.
That absolutely made me laugh. But the Stratus faction that she did, I call it the Stratus faction. I think it is that off the top rope from Nia Jax. Was a great move there for Trish. It was a great match. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. Trish did what she needed to do. Tiff needed this for a little bit more momentum going into WrestleMania. I was like, okay, enjoyed that. Ed?
Yeah, there's nothing bad about it. It wasn't stellar in anything like the match before it. It did the things it needed to do. Trish looked great. Trish still wrestles really well. Again, all these years later, Trish still looks great. She still wrestles great. She hits all her spots. She makes everybody look good. Nia Jax lifting her up and tossing her around like a rag doll. Like, Trish was in there doing all the things. She's not taking these legend spots and doing just the legend stuff. She's going in there and she wrestled 60% of that match for her team. 60.
Yeah.
She wrestled more than Tiffy did tonight. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know what? You can't blame, like, when these legends come out there, it's like, oh, they're taking a spot. Well, they're not taking a spot if they're doing this kind of legwork. Trish was in there. Again, as Ophelia says, it was the most predictable match of the night. But at the end of the day, it did the things it needed to do, like you said. Tiffany looks great going into Mania. It writes off the Nia Jax, Candice LeRae storyline for her. It gets her out of that. It puts her directly in the Charlotte path. Trish looked great. She got to wrestle in front of her kids. She wrestles in Toronto where she has, where she's from. So at the end of the day, you can't hate on this all that much. It's not as spectacular as the match that came before it, but 3.25, 3.5 stars somewhere in there. 3.25, 3.5 stars. It does all the things it needed to do. Nobody did anything wrong, but nobody really did anything stand out besides that big Stratus faction off the top rope. I said it a couple days ago, and I'll say it. I said it on the trivia show, and I'll say it again. Nia Jax doing the best work of her career. She's doing great work. Because we were talking about somebody injuring somebody in the ring, and I'm like, well, at least they're not being like Nia Jax before, because Nia's come back. She's obviously done training. She's obviously done everything else. She's trying to do the only time Nia's really blowing spots is when she's trying to do things that she probably shouldn't be doing in the first place. The Hurricanranas with Bayley come to mind.
Absolutely brilliant.
When she's trying to do that stuff, at least she's giving an effort and she's trying to do things that are beyond her power, and maybe they don't look great. I give her all the credit in the world for coming back, for taking the time to look better, to take the time to work better. She's not hurting anybody. Nobody that she's working with is getting hurt, whether she hurt them or whether it was an accidental thing. It happened a lot to Nia before. It's not happening to Nia now. She looks great. She's doing great work. Her character works off the top of the charts. It's kind of, big girl, standard booking. But at the end of the day, she's doing what she needs to do. I think she's doing fantastic work. It's Tiffy time. It's always going to be Tiffy time. It'll never not be Tiffy time. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this match at WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair versus Tiffy. I don't know what to do. I feel like Astrid when she has to watch Naxium in matches. I'm going to do it like this. Just going to barely see out my eyes.
But just cutting back to the John Cena situation as well, Bad Bunny has tweeted "Wow"
Wow.
from that as well. So that is phenomenal.
Thank you, Asher, for that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ratings, we both agree on the 3.5. But if you're in the comments down below, please give us what you think as well. But then we had a couple of segments in between that and the next match because they really need.
Business. We had all the business
We had
bullshit.
the business that WWE will be going back to Australia in 2025, and not only
with
that,
UFC. With UFC, they're
yeah.
doing a double show.
with the UFC. Don't know when they're doing it. They haven't announced the dates for that, but keep your eyes out for that if you're in Australia, mate. Put on a shrimp on the fucking Barbie. You will be able to find out when that is happening. And also, we had a promo package from the greatest of all time, The Rock, the final boss, the big chief himself.
Business. 20 minutes
With-
of business. We could have done a match.
No, we didn't need another match. We just needed to see The Rock.
No. I would have done the Chelsea Green U.S. title defense here. I would have done Rhea versus Io here. I think you could have done either one of these women matches here. I think there are matches you could have done here.
Maybe, but also it's The Rock, so that's best for business. But we're gonna you fuck yourself. We're then gonna go into the next match, the most brutal, most hard-hitting, the most horrific match of the night. It was the unsanctioned match. We had Kevin Owens biting Sami Zayn's forehead. We had hockey sticks. We had stacking of the tables, which we haven't seen in years. We had KO going through one table, Sami going through another, a fisherman buster through a chair, a haluva kick to a referee, a clothesline to Charles Robinson, a fisherman buster through a table, a barbed wire steel chair, KO going face first into that and busting his eye, and then getting power bombed on top of it, still kicked out, Sami Zayn around the chair, around the head, hitting the post, then 2 power bomb aprons, and then Kevin Owens done it. What was your thoughts before we get into the massive thing at the end? That was by the way, if you don't understand why I'm looking down, that is the long list I wrote during this bloody match of everything that happened. Your thoughts on this match overall? I love this. I'm not a big fan of big hardcore stuff. If you've watched my TNA stuff, we did a show recently where it was Marsha Slamovich versus Rosemary in the Orange Clockwork type match. Yeah, and she used a staple gun and did an I can't deal with any of that crap. That's just horrific. Your thoughts on this match, Ed?
So here's the thing. I was afraid it's so hard to blur the line between street fight and unsanctioned. So many times they kind of feel like the same thing. And these two guys, they trusted each other, they believe in each other, they're best of friends, and they went out there and they just took it to that level. They brought it right to the edge of what's comfortable and what's okay, and they didn't have to do the deathmatch stuff. And I'm not talking about any particular televised promotion. This isn't a shot at that. This is a shot at like CZW, GCW, that deathmatch style that I'm not a fan of. I'm not a deathmatch guy. I just ain't. I love me a weapons match. I love me a stipulation match. I love me a beat, take every weapon around the ring. Fans bring the weapons. Like, I like shit like that. But I don't need, light tubes and crap like that. This match did everything it needed to do. It told a fantastic story of two guys who know each other so well that they're able to go back and forth and know what lines they can do, what lines they can't do. Michael Cole, for some reason, was talking about Kevin Steen versus El Generico. Wink, wink. I don't know why you'd bring up that, Michael Cole. That has nothing to do with this match. I mean, Sami Zayn and El Generico are two different people. El Generico is living, in an orphanage taking care of children. I don't know why you'd bring that up, Michael Cole. I don't know why you'd bring that up. Again, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. No, I love this. I love everything about this. I thought it was the perfect blend of violence without being too much. I thought it was the perfect blend of savagery. The callbacks to the first time we ever saw Kevin Owens in WWE with the apron power bombs to Sami Zayn on a bad neck the night Sami Zayn won the championship. That's a callback to that NXT stuff where he, took out Sami Zayn and they had to take the title off of him. This was fantastic. This was everything it needed to be. 4.25, not quite 4.5, not quite the level of not quite the level of the women's elimination chamber match itself, but I was very happy with this. I thought it was really good. I think Mark's frozen. If not for everybody else, he's certainly frozen from. Oh no, just stopped.
No, my camera's died. No, it's just deciding not to function properly. There you go.
It's just, they're two different people.
Yeah. So I thought that was. I'm seeing so much stuff on X right now. I'm looking forward to get any nitbits going on. They're now talking about The Rock when he turned up to Bad Blood, putting up the 3, and he did the 3 of John Cena like this, but he did it backwards.
Hustle, loyalty, respect.
Yeah, he did it backwards, not like the way Cena does it this way. He did it that way, and now he's put 2, which means the 1 is when Cena wins. But it's just, I've got the Rock in all black, by the way. Look, oh god, he looked absolutely.
But we're not talking about the Rock. We're talking about the Unsanctioned.
I'm sorry. No, I thought it was absolutely incredible. I thought the right person won this match as well. I thought the right, and then Kevin Owens tried to go a little bit too far, trying to end Sami Zayn's career, but then unfortunately Kevin Owens heard voices in his head.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Unmute. I'm
trying to fix my mic. My mic's decided to
okay. I thought you muted on purpose because you were still talking. Yes, no. He indeed heard voices in his head, and I thought I could hear Ella J all the way from here in Boston, from in Toronto, where she's at this event live. Where she was cheering as hearing Randy Orton's music hit. I think Ella J is a Randy Orton girl. I'm almost certain.
Yeah, she is.
I know it's Edge, but I'm almost certain it's Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy too. I'm almost certain, but
yeah,
I could be wrong on that one. But no, Randy Orton comes out. I'm so mad they didn't let him do the fucking punt.
It's building to Mania.
Close. Oh, I was so close. I was so close.
That is so big. They did that on purpose so it happens at Mania.
Maybe we'll see. I love this. I thought the post match beatdown was great. I thought it made sense. It books it. She fainted. She might, like I said, I don't know. She might have tried to be a professional because I know she's up there for media if I remember correctly. But I thought this was great. Again, like I said, 4.25. Just above 4, under 5 and 4.5. It's not as good as the women's elimination chamber match for me, but it's still just what it needed to be, everything it needed to be. And I loved it. I thought it was great. 4.25 for me.
I'm gonna give it a 4.75. I'm gonna give the women's elimination just like a 4.99. For that one, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna give a 4.75 this one. The punk kick would have made it a 5, but then thinking about it, it didn't happen. That's for Mania. And then Randy Orton went on an RKO rampage, taking out every single security, which, by the way, I know that they're indie wrestlers from the local area. They sold that really well as well. So fair play to them. But now we're going to get into the match of potentially the night. We will see. The main event. It was the men's elimination chamber where we had Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins starting things off with Damian Priest that coming next. Then it was Logan Paul. Then it was John Cena. And then shit got real before CM Punk even turned up into this match. Do you want me to do a breakdown of this, or would you like to go ahead with it?
I mean, the guy put his reputation out in the line, and he got fucked. I mean, it is what it is, Every now and then, you fuck around and find out. You hear something that you think is a guaranteed scoop, and you put your reputation out there, and you say this guy's gonna win, and then next thing you know, a day and a half later, he's the first person eliminated from the match. I mean, poor bastard. he got a rumor, he got a report, he got something he thought was legit. He went out there and tried to spoil it for everybody, and Drew lost. I thought it was great. I thought the elimination of Drew McIntyre makes sense. It continues this chaotic, angry Scotsman Drew McIntyre story that we've been telling for years. He hits the Claymore on Damian Priest, which allows Logan Paul, the asshole, with bringing out the American flag to this very anti-American crowd in Canada. They booed the fucking national anthem of the United States in this show. Like,
thank you, Canada.
Fuck you, Canada.
Thank you, Canada. Thank
like,
you, Canada.
I understand and I agree, but also as an American, fuck you. No, I thought it was great. It gets the heat Logan Paul needs. Logan Paul eliminates Damian Priest. I thought that was great. Then CM Punk gets in and we have a lot of fun stuff. CM Punk versus John Cena seemed to get ready to go down, and Seth Rollins got really mad like he's the jealous ex-girlfriend that he is and tried to get involved and told Cena that that's his girl and to stay away. And I mean, I loved everything about this. The story, again, Triple H is allowing his wrestlers to tell stories in the ring. I am so thrilled that we're getting in-ring storytelling in WWE back again. Long-term storytelling with this Drew and Punk stuff, Seth and Punk stuff. It's just such good stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. At the end, we get Seth Rollins giving a curb stomp to CM Punk on the outside of the ring, and then standing there and screaming at Punk to tap as Punk passes out in the STFU for Cena to get the win. Just fucking greatness. Loved it. Logan, yeah, he writes all kinds of shit on that stuff. Drake was there tonight. Yeah, he was behind the commentary table. WWE chose not to mention it, I don't think.
No,
I don't think they ever, like, I know on socials I think they mentioned it, but I don't ever remember them. Like, they went to somebody else in the crowd, but they didn't go to him. They went to Robbie fucking Amell, the other Amell brother, the non-Green Green Arrow one. I love this match. I think this is great. I love this match. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I there was a point that I wrote down here. There was a couple of facts. Final three in there: Seth, Punk, and John Cena. The final three have a combined 26 titles combined with them. And then my favorite part was the AA into the GTS, which was then into the STF, into the Anaconda Vice. Then Seth throws Cena through the pod, a GTS into an AA. But I want to talk about, now knowing what happened, the modified STF is something we need to look at. Normally he gets the head and pulls it. He got that fully into a sleeper. Now looking back, that's what Gunther does. When you want to get over, when you submit someone, you make them sleep. And he made CM Punk, as he kept doing this, have a little bit of a nap time. Which I'm very interested to see. I'm so excited for this. John Cena was at the press conference as well. He walked in, took the microphone off the stand, dropped the mic, and walked out. He did not say a single word.
Nor should he have.
This is absolutely phenomenal. I'm really looking forward to this. Well, I don't know what else we could add on top of the Rock and John Cena.
Yeah, we're not going to more about that. It's fine.
It's one of those things now that I was always wondering where they were going to go with main eventing of WrestleMania this year. I thought potentially Gunther and Jey Uso were going to be it because it's going to do it. We now know that that's probably going to either be main eventing night one or be the opening to night two. It's going to be one of those two for that. But I think Jey Uso v Gunther will be in there. I now worry about the women's Royal Rumble as well. With Tiffany versus Charlotte, where are they going to place that in what card? The
Royal Rumble doesn't guarantee a main event now. If
No.
we're getting the rumored match of Rollins Punk Roman, which I based on tonight, I think we're getting, but at one point I thought we were going to get Punk Logan the way this night was going. When CM Punk pinned Logan, I thought that's where we were going to. Yeah, Ophelia. Yeah, I would say we're kind of checking out the things that we can, we're not. But yes, apparently Cena walked in, dropped the mic, and left. Yes, very fun stuff from him. I'll be honest. I don't think Jey Uso main events either night of WrestleMania.
No.
I think Jey Uso gets hosed. I think Gunther gets hosed. And I think they open night one. I don't think they main event. I think they open night one. Because if we're, like I said, if we're getting Roman versus Punk versus Rollins, I think the match, the favor that he gets from Heyman could be making that a main event. They steal the main event from Jey Uso. Punk comes in and says, "Sorry, kid, I'm taking the main event, not you." And I think that's how you can tell Punk versus Jey Uso, and when Jey Uso defeats Gunther and Mark cries for a second WrestleMania in a row.
Jey Uso's not winning.
He is winning.
He's not winning. There is no way in hell. No, he can yeet as much as he wants, but that is not happening. If it was Punk versus Gunther, I would be slightly quaking in my boots. But I don't see Jey Uso getting over this match whatsoever.
But yeah, that's for another time.
Yeah.
As far as this is concerned, this is 5 stars, baby.
Oh,
This is as good as shit gets, man. The story.
I love The Rock. I love The Rock. This is why he's the greatest of all time.
But see, here's the thing. Even without all of the post-match stuff, I still think the match is 5 stars. Like if you call the match as the match, and the moment CM Punk passes out and the bell rings, if you do the rating up at that point, that's the end of the match. That's the rating. I still give it 5 stars because the match itself was worth it. I mean, the CM Punk GTS to Rollins into the Cena attitude adjustment into Rollins being pinned by Punk. Like that's the storytelling here is incredible. We're still telling Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre almost an entire year later. We're still telling Drew McIntyre CM Punk shit almost the whole year they've been talking this whole thing. Most of 2024, all it's still into 2025. There's just so much good storytelling. And I said it on NXT and I ranted about it there, so I'm not going to rant about it here again. Storytelling is so important in these. You can put on the greatest match with the greatest moves and stuff, but without the storytelling, I can't get into it the same way I can get into something like this. This may not be a 5-star moves match, but this is a 5-star in my heart. I'm on the edge of my seat. I need to see who gets this. So much good stuff. And yes, boo Pat McAfee, boo that man for not knowing what a fucking heart attack was. And also apparently not knowing what weed is and calling it sage.
Oh, he definitely knew what it was.
I would imagine so. He's mostly high all the time, I would imagine.
Yes, he definitely knew that, but it was a running thing that they don't say it. They just call it sage. That's the thing. And also, Triple H had said that to not get any leaks out, he took over production. Only one person knew exactly what was happening, and then he had to tell the camera people where to be at the right time in the right place. So nobody knew what was going on. Now, he did call it sage at the Rumble. He also called it sage at the first Netflix show as well. So it's now a running thing with him calling it. But we're gonna end it there. We could bang on about WrestleMania, but we've got plenty of time now to see where this goes. It needs to hurry up. It does and it doesn't. I want it to hurry up, but I don't want it to hurry up because I want to see where this goes. But at the same time, I would need John Cena to win the 17th World Championship. Before we get going, Ed, could you please let the people know where they can find you and what you've got coming up as well, please, sir?
So every Tuesday you can find me with Ashley Bizarro as we talk all things NXT on Taking Over, where we go ahead and talk all about NXT. We've got a watch along coming up for Roadblock in 2 weeks, so we're very excited for that. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. We got some special guests that we're trying to work out some details. The Booker of the Year has already gotten hard at work trying to book us some special guests. She made a request. I made a request for somebody that I haven't worked with yet before. So we're hoping to get all that in place. This Wednesday, you can catch me and no, not you. You can catch me and Andre as we talk all things Daredevil Born Again, episode 1 from here for the next 9 weeks. You can catch me and most likely on all these weeks, Andre as well, as we talk all things Daredevil, as we're very excited for that. The Daredevil Born Again series is coming from Marvel Talk. And brand new this week, I'm very excited to announce that starting on Wednesday, either before Marvel Talk or after Marvel Talk, you can go ahead and catch me on my own Twitch channel, which is down here, twitch.tv/EdFries2002. OLED is going to get Evolved.
Ooh.
I'm going to be talking all things Evolve on my own personal Twitch channel every week. I'm using the WWE ID people as the people on my promotional banner here. We've got Aaron Rourke, Zeta Steel, and then swipe right of Ricky Smokes and Brad Baylor. 3 of the 4 of these people I get the honor of watching on an almost monthly, if not weekly basis. If I tune in to be on Wrestling to see swiped right, Ricky Smokes is the Chaotic Wrestling Champion. Aaron Rourke is there all the time, as well as being a wonderful student from CAP. And Zeta Steel is just the real deal. No one requested me. I requested you tonight, but you said you were not functionable for a television broadcast. But no, I'm very excited to be doing Evolve. That'll be happening on Wednesdays. And then, of course, as me and Mark both know, Wednesday into Thursday, WWE 2K25 drops. We're very excited. We got our goosebumps like the final boss has got his fake ass shit. And we're ready for that to go ahead and start seeing. Mark's going to talk to us all about the island. I'm going to break down into some GM mode. I'm going to get some noob universe mode going. Dumbass Ed, who's never done universe mode in his entire life, is going to start doing some universe mode stuff. It's going to be great. I can't wait to do this. It's going to be a bunch of fun. So those streams will slightly be coming. So I'll probably be doing some of that when I'm off due to surgery coming up at the end of the month. So we got some fun stuff coming. I'm very excited for what we got coming up.
Perfect. For me, if you check me out on Mark Talks Football, we're trying to take South Shields back to the Premier League. We have a cup final today, FA Cup semi-final, to go and check that out on Mark Talks Wrestling. It is the final 2 nights of WWE 2K24, our final 2 nights of the WrestleMania show. Today, we had the newly crowned season show where we will be doing at WrestleMania every single season. We will be calling it the Lauren Goodnight Rumble Battle Royal. So it's basically in her name, and it can be men or women, and there is a prize. Each season will be different for it. But there is a prize that will be happening next series in Bobby Munson's name, but that will be coming very, very soon. And also, I'm going to say this now, March the 7th will be the WWE 2K25 draft. Following on to 2 days later for the Monday will be the first day of WWE 2K25 My Universe mode. So make sure March 8th, 9th, 10th. I can't remember which date. 10th. I'm going to go with 10th. I haven't really thought about planning that much in the further and forwards just yet. March 10th will be the start of 2K24, 25 following on. So make sure you go over there and subscribe. But if you haven't known me, I am here doing WWE PLEs if they ever have one, if I'm not ill. I also do every single Friday talking about TNA wrestling. I am here as well every single Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UK time. And on Sundays, I am also around with Bobby Munson, Ed, and Andre if we're around talking all things sport. We've had a lot going on this week. He potentially could be here. We don't know.
Neither one of us are there tomorrow.
No, so it's me and Bobby tomorrow. We will be there tomorrow, so make sure you check us out for that. But with love, that is it. Thank you ever so much. And I'm going to end it without doing an outro because I can't think of one to actually play. So all I'm going to say is the final words that needs to be said at the end of this Elimination Chamber. Thank you.
Fuck the final boss.
Thank you, final boss.